The Marvel Saga, Volume 1. I started with like Volume 14 or 13, the one with Daredevil on it. So that made me want to get more of them. And I went to my local comic store or shop or booth, whatever it's called. And lo and behold, they had a lot of them, but they had various numbers. So they had the number 1 and some other ones, and I took them all, and they're only $1 each, for a 40-year-old comic book. So I read this, and I absolutely love these. These are very informative. Believe it or not, it took me about an hour to read this because this is more book than comic. This is more wordy, and it explains more things. It's basically explaining the Marvel universe. So there is a lot of text in it. A lot of narrations, a lot of explanations, but I like that explanations. The explanations are very good. You do get a good chunk of actual comic book in there towards the middle. I noticed that everyone has a theme. This one, the majority of the theme was the Fantastic Four. So I learned about the Fantastic Four. I was absolutely enthralled by it. You do get a little tease of Wolverine, and you do hear about a bunch of scientists, like a bunch of scientists that turned into superheroes. You hear about supervillains. You hear about costume superheroes and the origin of the superhero. So it is pretty damn cool. It follows the Fantastic Four on how they became the Fantastic Four. There was two dudes that were college roommates. One was named Ben. The other one, I forgot what his name was. But he turns out to be Mr. Fantastic. One of them says, "You know what? I'm going to build a rocket." And the guy, Ben, I guess he didn't believe him. He's like, "Oh man, the day you build a rocket, that's the day I fly your rocket." so I guess in a few years pass, and the guy actually builds a rocket. So he goes to his friend Ben, to his roommate that was a college roommate, Ben, and he says, "Oh, you're gonna fly this rocket," and uh, and his wife and some other guys there, um, and all of a sudden, all four of them fly into space, and they have no idea what the hell's what's gonna happen, and the cosmic rays do something to the spaceship, to them and to the spaceship, and kind of give them some sort of mutation. And the girl that was there, she turns invisible. Then Ben, the guy that was his friend, turns into this huge rock, and the girl calls him the Thing. So he nicknames his name to the Thing. And then his friend, which built the rocket, calls himself Mr. Fantastic, and he finds out that he's flexible. And then the other guy turns into a torch and he can fly. So the Fantastic Four is born. It was pretty damn cool. Also, it shows Ant-Man. It's right here. They show Ant-Man. I don't remember what this was. But yeah, Galactus is also in there. It was really cool. There was a battle between the Fantastic Four and one of their arch nemesis, the Mole Man. And I thought it was pretty sad, his story. The Mole Man was a evil supervillain of the Fantastic Four that lived underground, and he said that he lived up on the earth, but people started teasing him because he was very ugly. And he was so ugly that he found a different place to be where he doesn't have to be around a bunch of people. And then like the freaking he turned into a super villain. He got a bunch of monsters um to take his commands and destroy the earth. So it was pretty fun. The old Jack Kirby like drawings and comic books kind of shows you how comic books have changed. Comic book a comic book back in those days was like something you read when you're on the toilet. Something like a funny, like it's like goofy, colorful, it's fun and semi interesting, and the stories are like really dumbed down as if you're telling it to a child. Now comic books have gone a way different direction. They forgot what the hell they were for. Um, they're not made for children anymore. The old the old Jack Kirby comic books were very fun and dumbed down and kind of like goofy and cartoonish and comical. So they completely lost that. They're not even comics anymore, they're dramas. So very great book. Very I like I said, it took me an hour to read. Usually a comic book takes you 15 minutes. This was incredibly wordy and full of facts that it's pretty dense. So each one of these is pretty dense. That's about a 1 hour read right there. And I'd love to see the old art, and it was pretty damn good.